Hello and welcome to our Soap Secrets podcast, all about Holby this week. Casualty is not on this Saturday due to the England match, which I'm sure you will all be watching, and we wish the team much luck. However, Casualty will be back next Saturday. Now I'll let you listen to Hannah chat to Victoria about all things Holby City.
Wilson here. Hi, Victoria.
Hello, Hannah.
Right, so Ange is worried this week that she's suffering from the menopause, but is she?
Well, after all these sort of will they, won't they of recent weeks, Ange and her younger lover, Josh, they're kind of happily working together on AAU and obviously sort of trying to keep their sort of forbidden love under wraps. This week, though, the sort of age gap between the pair is sort of brought into sharp focus. And as sort of Ange suspects that she might be experiencing early signs of the menopause that's sort of known as perimenopause. She sort of starts feeling every bit that older woman when Josh's mum Elaine is admitted onto AAU, and she's clearly unimpressed that her son is dating a woman in her 40s. How dare she?
Yeah, well, how very dare he, I think.
Yeah. So Anne just sort of battling through the day with hot flushes, tiredness, sickness. There's a funny scene, well, a bit gross actually, where she sort of throws up in a bin in one of the corridors, and she's sort of spotted by one of the people who are in the hospital inspecting it that day. So that doesn't go down too well. So we're sort of left wondering what's going on with her on a personal level. And then meanwhile, sort of Josh is fighting his own battle, trying to convince his mum that Ange really is the woman he wants to spend the rest of his life with. It's quite touching scenes, really, just between sort of mother and son. It's quite nice.
But her being sick, I'm sorry. I'm going to put it out there. She's got to be pregnant. That's my guess. That is my guess. I never usually get these things right, so I'm going for it this time to see if I'm right.
Well, you've nailed your colours to the mast, Hannah. That's
I know.
You may be onto something. That the sort of day's events give Anne sort of a lot of food for thought in that sense. You know, she does sort of wonder, is she holding Josh back from a future of maybe sort of partying, travelling, all that sort of thing, and of course having children. He sort of says there's sort of a heart to heart, and he sort of says to Ange that, you know, he doesn't see that in his future, but you're sort of left wondering, are those days firmly behind Ange? It's a really interesting one.
Yeah, I bet it is. It's going to run and run. And we finally discover this week Jenny's dark secret. Yeah.
Jenny Sinclair, she's sort of been a real tower of strength for Fletch ever since she sort of first arrived at Holby, whether that was helping him right at the start, organise the hospital's finances during his short tenure as CEO. Do you remember that? So, and more recently, she sort of provided a much needed shoulder to lean on after his daughter Evie was stabbed. Obviously, we all remember that. And she's kind of also proved something of a sort of mother figure to Evie. Bear in mind that her mum died some years ago, and she's kind of been the mother figure for Fletch and his other three children, her three younger siblings. And So Jenny's kind of sort of stepped in there, and she's been like the go-between as father and daughter's relationship has become quite strained. However, kind as she may seem, this week it's revealed that Jenny's got something of a dark side to her. So as we know, with the hospital under inspection, Jenny's sort of taken aback when she spots patient Rich on Kellerwood. Now, he claims he's been bitten by a dog, but both medics Dom and Jung are convinced the bite mark is from a human, and they're sort of very suspicious. God. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Right.
That is horrible.
Well, it turns out our Jenny knows exactly who bit him. Spoiler alert, it turns out that Jenny knows Rich rather well. That's because Jenny has a sideline in grooming underage girls for paying men.
Oh,
yes.
I did not see that coming. I did not see that. I was waiting for whatever was going to come out of your mouth to come out then, and that was not what I was expecting.
No, I was quite shocked too. It turns out that Rich is a client of her illicit operation, and basically one of her girls bit him for coming on too strong.
Funny
that isn't the whole story though, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but just to say, obviously Jenny wants to keep these two lives quite separate. She doesn't appreciate Rich sort of turning up at her place of work and being around her new Holby family, obviously, namely Fletch and Evie. And it's not long before Rich notices young Evie on the ward.
And how much danger is she in now? God.
Well, Jung wants to get the police involved in Rich's case because they are suspicious of it. But obviously that for Jenny, she sort of makes her fear that her dirty little secret is about to be exposed. Rich kind of says that he'll keep quiet if Jenny finds him a new girl, and he's already set his sights on somebody. Surely Jenny would she?
Well, if you're in that business, I mean, you do quite a lot of things that most, people wouldn't do, I think.
Yeah.
Victoria, what a horribly seedy week.
Yeah, well, there's lots you sort of thought that she sort of come at the cusp of when all the stuff was going on with Keon, and that storyline would sort of come to an end, but this one is certainly only just beginning.
It is. Right, well, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everybody. It's been another great week. Enjoy the football if you're watching that. If not, enjoy the soaps because there's lots going on. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.